This is the difference between the camera on my iPhone 13 mini and the 13 Pro, thanks to its macro ability, amongst other things which I'll discuss in this video. Now, last month I, a professional photographer, bought the iPhone 13 mini, whereas Steph, who is definitely not a photographer, bought the iPhone 13 Pro, and I think she made the right decision. Now, the logic in my original choice was sound. When I want to take professional photos, I have my professional cameras. When Steph wants to shoot social media content for her work, she relies on her phone. Many of you watching this video might rely on your phone as your only camera as well. Therefore, I get the compact mini and she gets the Pro. Sound logic, right? Well, 1 month after using both, I think I might have changed my mind. It goes without saying that without the macro feature, my 13 mini struggles to get these gorgeous watch shots. The detail is insane. The Pro macro is really remarkable. I believe it's using the ultra-wide lens, so even at 1x optical, it must still be doing some cropping. It has a very wide-angle look to it, which goes against the typical look you get from a traditional macro lens. Macros tend to have longer focal lengths, so you get that more compressed look, and as viewers we're used to seeing macro images with that particular look. This is what makes Apple's ultra-wide macro so different. It doesn't just look different, it feels different. Whereas traditional telephoto macro lenses make you feel more like you're a viewer peeping in a microscope, the ultra-wide macro makes you feel like you're living in a supersized world. It's probably what ants would feel like. But as amazing as macro is on this camera, it's not what I love the most about the Pro. Macro is a huge bonus, but that's all it still is. A bonus. How many of you actually need to shoot super close-up macros of your Swiss movement? Nor did I find faster refresh rate, the build quality, or the faster lenses really that crucial to me either. As for Pro RAW, it is undoubtedly a huge advantage of the Pro cameras, but I still willingly chose the Mini without Pro RAW. The most crucial omission from the non-Pro models, in my opinion, is the telephoto lens. If I were to make an analogy with a car, it would be that all those other features are optional extras, like leather seats, sunroof, or bigger rims. But losing that telephoto lens is like buying a car without any reverse gear. It's an absolutely devastating omission in day-to-day use. I love the ultra-wide, but I would rather have the telephoto. To be frank, it's very possible for me to get similarly great shots with the Mini as with the Pro, as long as it's not macro obviously. With a bit of Photoshop and careful color and exposure settings when shooting the Mini, we don't have to depend on Pro RAW flexibility. But you can't live without an everyday phone camera without some degree of telephoto. If you're using your phone, you probably aren't doing a professional photo shoot, and therefore you probably don't have that level of control. In conclusion, I really wish Apple would make an iPhone Pro Mini, or at the very least, to add a telephoto lens to the base iPhone in the future. Also, if you would like to know how I shot these cool macros, I used this amazing adjustable phone arm. I found it's more sturdy than the flexible Joby type of arms, and I'll put a link in the description below.